I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
Industry Shill blames Asmongold for anti-Vogue backlash of Resident Evil 9 protagonist instantly finds out. When in doubt, blame Asmongold.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we have some very interesting gaming related drama to cover. So in case you missed it, at Summer Game Fest, there was an announcement for Resident Evil 9, and in that announcement we saw some previews of what this game is going to be about. You can see some of the things listed here, but the main thing we're going to talk about for this video is Grace Ashcroft taking on a protagonist role. Now this leads us to Reforge Gaming. I don't know if you guys know who this is, but from my observations, he's somewhat of a lolcow in the gaming scene among content creators at this point, and it kind of is confirmed because every time I see
I feel like maybe it's a good thing I don't know who that is. I never heard of him.
this guy, it's a clip of him, and it's some out-of-pocket stuff where he's being made fun of, and today is no exception. So he had this to say about the design of Ashcroft, saying, "Dudes are already calling the Resident Evil 9 lead protagonist ugly, an epidemic of loneliness and..."
All the characters look like this to me. Not gonna lie, I thought she was a side character.
and misery is truly making some of you insane. First of all, projection with this part right here, but also they're making the claim that people are calling this character ugly and woke and all these things. They'll add more onto this in their streams and stuff when they clarify these.
I didn't hear anyone call her ugly or woke. Just not main character.
Yeah.
Points they're trying to make. But yeah, there's a couple things to establish here, right? There would be a note added to this saying, without a single evidence of the claim, this account is just trying to rage bait for engagement, which is against the TOS. Yeah, because there's really nothing to find here, right? They said this with almost no evidence to back it up.
And now I'm gonna show what you guys didn't see. The reception.
The reception is amazing.
That's why I wanted to wait a little bit until I show this. That's the reception for the game.
And then they scrambled to try to find little breadcrumbs of people complaining about this character's design, including people from Asmongold's stream, which we'll get into in just a second. But next I want to say, looking at this character design, I think it's good. Like, I don't know, you can feel free to disagree in the comments section. At the very least, I think it's fine. You know, the only comments I could find searching around was some people saying it's a bit stale. And that's about as far as I could find in terms of negative comments. But in the reply section, some people were really gassed up by what was going on. They believed this narrative being spread here. And you can see D-Batch here.
Absolutely not. People are excited about the game. How it's gonna be received, we'll see when it comes out, but people are excited about the game. Are they the most excited about the character? Not as much. She's no, but like, are people hating it? Also not.
It looks like they're starting off with a fresh character with, you know, connection to whatever story that they're gonna have. And then they're gonna move the progression of her becoming actually, you know, get better with a gun, survival, and all that stuff.
Replying with this absolute alpha male comment right here. These guys are effing losers. Virgins that J off to the hub. So much so, they think all lead females need to have that star look. Effing dorks, we gave you effers wedges in school. Think this is their get back. LOL, effing losers.
What?
Bro, you need to chill, man.
What the hell? Like, this person is going completely off the deep end.
Yep.
LOL. Did you guys just feel a wave of testosterone and alpha male energy coming from this post? Absolutely unbelievable. What a Chad this guy is. First of all, he said wedges here. Like, I don't know, you're going to give those people wedges of cheese? Potato wedges, perhaps? Of course, he was trying.
Okay, Rev is trying to be a smart ass. He's talking about wedgies. Haha, very funny, Rev.
To say wedgies, which is kind of funny. I get why he probably misspelled this. He was probably crying so hard while typing this out. The tears falling from his face probably messed with his key.
For people not understanding in the chat what he was trying to say, he's saying every single person who wanted to see a P-hub quality of a woman being main character are losers that people like him bullied in school. First of all, no one's saying she's ugly. Second of all, no one's asking for P-hub of women. Third of all, I mean, you kind of sound like you were the one bullied.
Keyboard. But anyways, look at this projection. This guy's talking hard, saying everyone's a loser and a virgin. If they have any sort of criticism for this character, which it's hard to find any, but that's besides the point. But then he's talking about how he bullied people in school like this. Oh yeah, how tough. I mean, this is a projection. You know this guy. This guy wasn't just getting wedgies.
I'm sorry, but this is like so random. It's like the fact that it's an imaginary problem that Reforge made, right? And this dude is like doubling down with being like, oh, in school as a horny teenager, you were fantasizing about P-hub actresses. You're a loser. I'm a bully you. I don't know why, but it just screams sanity to me. Were you gonna get bullied as a teenager for fantasizing about P-hub?
Okay.
Sorry. It's
I'll be
just
right back.
the reality of what he's saying. It's like it has layers. I mean, puberty was hell for all. Layers like onion, pretty much.
He was getting swirlies. Like that head was getting dunked in toilets, and now he's coming back and he's trying to pretend like he was always the tough guy. And also, he's got this like revenge of the nerds narrative down here. This whole post is just screaming insecurity. And to really cap this off, the worst result here is that it's projection and this guy was bullied in school or something. The best result, I guess, is that he's telling the truth, which would just mean he's bragging about bullying kids in school. Like, yeah, sick dude. That's real cool. That's a really normal response to discussions about a character's appearance.
Remember this, kids. When in doubt, brag about bullying kids at school. That will get your social cred up really high.
In a video game. But this was one of the very few people believing this post. In fact, you look at their responses and the number of likes, especially the ones coming from various content creators. Hypnotic saying, it kind of sucks showing this is going, or knowing this is going to go viral, and you simply made this stuff up as bait and it worked. Good job. Smash JT says, literally no one is saying this. And Demion says, she looks fine. Savvy says, show who said it. And you got Jay Viper saying, there is no note. Why is it still up? Are you openly grifting? Now, this was true for a couple of days. I've been hanging on to this video and the related topic for a couple of days now. And at one point, as pointed out here, for the last like 3 or 4 days, the note was removed temporarily. And I'll explain why that happened a little bit later in this video. But for a while, couple days, the note was removed. And he had this to say about the possibility of the note being removed.
People called it a rage bait. I was like, okay, I'll make you a deal. If the community note comes off of that tweet, so then it actually makes me money, I will delete the tweets to prove to you I don't give a frick about this stupid social point rat race that you guys play. People called it a rage bait.
This social point rat race. Very high IQ assessment.
What am I watching?
I'm sorry, but the fact that like all the people in the circle just jumped on the dude. Like, bro, who are you talking about?
And they call us the grifters. Oh my god.
Assessment there. But of course, the note would be reapplied, but all of this doesn't really matter. They're acting like getting, you know, some level of engagement, a few thousand likes and a couple or 1,700 replies is some gold mine of ad revenue. This is Twitter. Like, this whole tweet probably made 20 cents. Like, unironically. So the fact that they're like, I'll take it down to end the grifts, it doesn't really mean much. But anyways, going back to the replies, more people saying, stop making making up stuff that no one is saying, bro. I have not seen a singular person say that she was ugly. Yeah, no one's saying that. But here is a reply, since you obviously need the engagement money, you dip. Okay, well, let's move forward a little bit here. We have a comment from Grums. Now, like the guy or not, agree with his takes or not, the amount of people who are seething about this guy's existence is
because no one was saying anything. And the reality is, even though I was living pretty much under a rock for the past weeks, if people would be saying this, our community Discord would have been flooded with it already.
It'll been blown up, and everyone's, yo, Lifu, did you see this? Yo, 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 look at this.
I didn't see anything besides people maybe mentioning, oh, I'm looking forward to Resident Evil. There's a new Resident Evil. That's the whole conversation.
fascinating to observe from the outside. He says, with 3,200 likes, if that were true, I would have said it. But I don't think she's ugly, and you got it all wrong. This is just you baiting. And oddly enough, at the same time, someone else left a reply saying, that's Grum's brain rot for you.
Oh.
Amazing. He had a response. It's the exact opposite of what this person's saying. Then you look at their account. The first thing they want you to know about.
You know what really annoys me about people? When you're talking like about a topic at hand, right? For example, we have a Tectone video. How Tectone was banned. When there's like the situation was happening where there's like false banning and like the hypocrisy on Twitch, and we still had people in the comments be like, yeah, that guy Tectone, when the whole conversation is about how hypocritical Twitch is. It's like, okay, the point is like way over there. Your brain is way over here. Like, the point missed your head by like a mile. That's what this person did. Like, the conversation is about the game. Let me talk shit about Grumps. Maybe like have some critical thinking in your life. Don't be this one-dimensional. Coming from a 2D anime girl, how about you're not this dimensional? Logic is racist, apparently.
About them. The first thing is Grum's tards equals instant block. Imagine dedicating your entire online presence.
Wow, I didn't even realize this. I just want to say, get a life. If your whole life is dedicated hating someone on the internet, get a life. Touch a grass. One singular.
Wait, what?
We don't want you to touch grass in general. One singular, and let's see how that goes first.
To some random person that you could easily just mute or block and then ignore forever. But, of course, after a couple of days, Reforge Gaming would come back with the receipts, the damning receipts, as you'll see. Here's everything. This is what the entire narrative that he's trying to propose.
Wait, I saw folks saying the protagonist was woke and ugly in live stream comment, and then this tweet and reply was put into my Discord. Protag looks woke, huge Resident Evil fan, but that's greatly diminishes my interest in this. I don't give a F if left-wing pussy are triggered by this. I prefer my women in video games, not ugly. Okay, you found one guy who had like 34 likes on his tweet about this.
Bro, ain't that deep, man. Chill. Someone said that, and you kind of just like pop the vein.
There's gonna be always people who are gonna be professional contrarians. Whatever you say, whatever the popular opinion is gonna be, you're gonna have those professional contrarians who will stand by the opposite opinion just to be different. So you climbing onto this to prove a point, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, but you are.
Is based on that claims the protagonist was woke and ugly according to some users. Here's the first one from a single account on Twitter. Protag looks woke. This greatly diminishes my interest in this game. Left-wing cowards are triggered by this. I prefer my women in video games, not ugly. And here is the final example. More evidence that a lot of dudes were instantly running with DEI and other anti-woke dog whistles the minute this trailer hit. Hold on a second. Anti-woke dog whistles.
Okay.
That is the most terminally online thing I have ever heard in my life. And believe me, I've heard a lot of things.
No, the most terminal online thing I've ever heard in my life is a comment I got that if I do art, I'm woke. And in the same breath, accuse me of being anti-woke. Go figure.
Okay, but this is the proof. This is from Asmongold's stream reacting to all this. And this is the
That's his evidence. And it's circle too. His evidence is some random chatters who constantly try to get a rise out of Asmongold, underlining their comments. Okay then. Okay.
the proof. Two people in the chat, or a couple people in the chat saying DEI game, or DEI, and two down here saying DEI. Understand Asmongold's chat typically has 50,000+ people in it. So you're never going to control everyone. So out of all of those people, you have a couple circled examples here of random users saying DEI. Now, if you actually attend Asmongold's streams, I think it's very clear a lot of people like to troll him, right? They say stuff like this to try to get him to react to them. And in this case, I guarantee, knowing a little bit about Asmongold's content, he would say this game is not DEI. It's not woke. In fact, the only thing we see here is just people saying DEI over and over again. Now, there's another element to this.
And if Asmongold would have been pushing the game as DEI as it is, his editor would have already published it. People would have already downloaded it, circulated it. It would have been so public by this point. Because these people, they basically live and breathe on Asmongold's clip channel.
That is very funny. The YouTuber Vera Dark would make a video talking about this same subject, the same tweet from Reforge Gaming, titled "Woke Loser Gets Wrecked for Claiming Gamers Think Resident Evil 9's lead is ugly," which is a lie. And she would obviously criticize his post and say, you didn't prove anything,
Which
you
is
took
valid.
a couple random posts across the internet.
I think the fact that she made this video is completely valid. Like, what? Did he also use her as, like, exhibit C?
And try to give this narrative that that's what everyone's talking about, when that was obviously not the case. And he is absolutely fuming about her video.
Oh,
and
yeah, there we go.
This is a clip from one of his recent streams where he's crashing out over Vera Dark's video. Brace yourselves. This is peak
I'm ready.
cringe.
So Vera Dark put up a video on you. It was a laugh. Oh, because of my tweet about the Resident Evil thing, and they're all in denial. They can put me in their content all they want. I don't care. I will never appeal to their audience because I don't deal in grift and half truths. Listen to me.
My guy, you're literally grifting. You're literally grifting while accusing another person of grifting. Oh my god.
He said got attention because a hit dog barks. And they've created and fostered a monster, and they don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit the fact that now every single time a minority or a woman is on screen, that's the conversation that starts immediately.
What? No.
The second there's a minority, a woman on screen.
Yo, that's wild. How do you have so much confidence saying stuff like that? Bro.
Chat, is this real?
Yo, there's no way this dude said it in good faith. What's even funnier is it's a woman saying his take is crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Bear with me. I have a point with this one. Woman, Korean. Korean is considered minority in US. Surprise. Woman, minority. What's the reception of it in US? I rest my case.
Millisecond later, there are people typing DEI, woke, and ugly in the chat. And it happened with Resident Evil 9, and they're all in denial. They can all say nobody's saying this, which is absolutely idiotic to claim. Plenty of people were saying it. We had screenshots from Asmongold's chat. People were immediately saying DEI and woke. We had people in our chat saying it. We had a tweet. We had multiple tweets in response.
Okay, so basically your source is Asmongold's chat, couple of them saying it's woke because they like getting a rise out of him, and your chat, the community you developed, the community you gathered saying it's woke. You know that he can cultivate his own community. And like, all jokes aside, but the community does reflect the streamer.
To my tweet saying that the woman was ugly. That is now a conversation piece for every frickin' game. And it came from the grifting anti-woke ilk of the internet. And that's why they got angry. Because when I said this is absolutely stemming from misery and loneliness, a hit dog barks. And that's what they make money off of. They make content for miserable and lonely men who are upset and angry, and they need something to hurl that emotion at.
Okay, all the ladies in my chat, I'm sorry you're lonely, miserable men. Rhythm, that's you. Ancient, that's you. Lifu, that's me. We're lonely, miserable men. Let's go. I can't. This is... Also, how many married men do we have here too?
We're quite a bit. They're not present right now, but they're
Oh
here.
my god, this is so stupid. Oh my god. Whew.
Those people make money off of the emotional manipulation of disenfranchised men, and it's great.
Okay, now I'm emotionally manipulating men. Hey guys, this game is shit. It's literally crashing every 5 minutes.
Wait.
I'm
Riku
emotionally manipulating you all.
Riku just said some tea right there. That's kind of rich from a guy who was getting to cheat on his wife. Hey, yo, wait. Oh, excuse me, if you guys heard that. Yo,
I'm dying here.
he did that? No way. I was so appalled. I burped midway. And I will take that as a man.
Did not expect this video to be this funny. I'm sweating. Oh my god. Oh my god. My feelings are actually hurt. I just have not found the right person. Exactly.
Exactly.
Stop making me laugh now. I'm gonna die here.
Yeah, this was a few years ago. Guy used to be called Say No to Rage. He was a Destiny content creator.
Say no to
Say less, bro.
It's my medicine time. Let me grab my shot of medicine. Save me from the... This is so stupid. I need my Terraflu.
Okay.
Gross. And I threw a rock in the dark, and I hit a dog, and it barked. Because they were all like, oh my gosh, that's literally what this content thrives on, so we've got to attack this. Yeah, well, you'll learn very quickly attacking me is a bad idea. It doesn't work.
Yeah, once again, there he goes with the, hit a dog and see who barks or whatever.
What?
Why would you say that, bro?
What?
Weird phrase he used. He really likes those. It's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, when you attack people and try to spread false narratives, some people are going to fight back. They're going to bark back, right? It's such a weird excuse, but this whole thing is just riddled with projection. Again, going off about these people being losers who do this stuff, and that Vera Dark is a grifter and people like her are grifters, and they're exploiting lonely men because why?
Has he ever considered that the reason why people watch shadows like that is because for the longest time everyone was thinking that they're alone in all of this and they were not able to understand if it's just them going crazy or the games are getting worse. So now the way people actually get information about games is from other content creators, because guess what? Gaming journalism, at least in the West, is corrupt. So basically what created is a whole section of content creators filling that void.
Because they criticize wokeness in video games, that's like some sort of exploitation of lonely men. Yeah, I don't think you're going to convince a lot of people that's like the narrative here, or something that's based in.
Also, like, more. I'm sorry, but where does he get off like calling like the audience lonely? The fact that he automatically excluded women, it's like the most pathetic thing ever.
In reality whatsoever. In fact, I'd say that's about as believable as his tweet claiming that everyone's calling this character ugly and woke. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird to always hear people project about everyone being a lonely loser and yada yada yada. It's like they have nothing real to say, they have no real counter. They're just insecure about getting criticized for this. They're probably insecure about a lot of other things that they're saying stuff like this to random people on the internet. But that's just the narrative, and that's just what's going on here. And that's the response to people like Reforge Gaming trying to, well, create narratives and push agendas, to own the chuds, and to squash out those alt-right dog whistles. They've actually made a new one, the anti-woke dog whistle. I'm sorry, my apologies on that one. But yeah, for now, that's going to do it for this video and this amazing tweets. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Good video, good video. Also,
Good video.
also never heard of this dude, now I heard, and I had a good laugh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making content so I can laugh. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, fly high, check it. Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard.